Hello, I'm Coach Natalie, and welcome to this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies. Now, 2 weeks ago, we worked on the lapel choke from the guard, and at that time, I talked about how this grip, using the corner of the gi, could be used in other submissions. Well, today we're going to be working on one of those submissions, and in this case, what I would have called a kind of a Bravo grip is actually called the lapel feed, but it's the same grip. So we're going to be learning how to do an armbar from the closed guard. So it's pretty simple. Let's check it out. Okay, let's break it down. As I was mentioning, last week, or actually 2 weeks ago at this point, we were learning that you could grab the corner of your partner's gi and just holding on to the thick part of the lapel, you could kind of use it as a handle to control people. In the last submission we learned, we were actually wrapping it behind someone's head, and then grabbing, and kind of doing almost a cross-collar choke. But since we were holding on to the corner of the lapel, it's called a Bravo choke. Today, we're going to be using that very same grip. What we're going to still be doing is still feeding underneath their underarm, but then we're going to wrap it around the outside of the elbow, kind of like as a sling. So we're going to be doing two things. We're first going to be grabbing our partner, use our hand to kind of secure behind their elbow. But at the same time, we're going to be grabbing that fabric and holding it so really this arm gets trapped. Then we're going to turn the corner, throw a leg over the head, and then, pressing down with the head, we can do an armbar as we've learned in the past. So let's check out the different steps that we need. So Sally here, my jiu-jitsu partner, since I'm going to be needing to take her lapel out of her belt, I didn't even put the belt on. But in any case, even if they're wearing a belt, we can pretend like we're going to loosen it. So first thing, she's going to be in my closed guard. So first thing we're going to do is we want to be able to control our partner with our closed guard. You don't have to be holding onto your legs really tight, but just close your guard, and if you ever tighten your knees, you can move your partner around just using your legs. Now, the concept I wanted to talk about was this idea of cross-gripping their elbow. You can kind of see I really have a firm hold on their elbow. So this is the grab we're going to have on their elbow, but we're also going to be holding onto fabric. So holding on with the elbow, just kind of a mechanical hold plus fabric. So first thing we're going to do, especially if this is a real person, they would never want to put their hands on the mat. That you could Kimura them or something like that. They're always going to be having their hands on your chest, which is great. First thing I'm going to do is loosen their gi. I'm going to be loosening it you really can see like my thumb is pointing towards the corner of their gi. Now with this hand under their right arm and over, I'm going to be securing their elbow. At the same time though, I'm going to be holding on to this fabric. Remember, not the whole fabric, but just the rib of the fabric. So hold on to the corner of their elbow, plus holding on to the gi fabric. So now I'm holding them in two ways. Trapping their arm with this sling of fabric going around their elbow, plus holding on to their elbow itself. So that's the first thing I need to do. Second thing I need to do is I need to cut the corner. Now, my legs have been crossed behind them until now, closed. What I need to do is this leg needs to go down and my left leg needs to go up. And so by doing this, it's kind of pushing them forward, and it also allows me to cut the corner. So last thing I want to do is put my bottom leg over their shoulder. I've now trapped her. So with her trapped arm, her trapped shoulder, I'm going to take my outside hand here and press it down on her head, and you can see now I have an arm here. Pinching the arm with my two knees, I can now get the armbar. Okay, let's try that again. Again, Sally here's going to be my close guard. So, going underneath the arm, I can easily trap this arm. We're going to fish this lapel out from underneath her underarm, go outside her elbow. So I'm going to grab her elbow, but I'm also grabbing it with this fabric. Next thing I'm going to do, instead of my legs being behind her, my right leg is going to go below, my left leg is going to go above. And now I'm kind of looking inside her ear. This leg traps her shoulder. Last thing I'm going to do, put the head down and get the leg over. Trap this arm with both my legs. And you can see how easy it would be to get the armbar. So, the good thing about this move is that it builds on some of the moves that we've done in the past. We've certainly done the Bravo choke now. We've certainly done arm bars where you're, looking into your opponent's ears. And really, those are the very same moves that you do with this one. Common mistakes that are specific to this move is that you don't want to trap, when I said you're putting a sling over their elbow, you don't want to put the sling too low. You don't want them to be able to pull the arm out. And also, and this is a mistake I made several times, you don't want to just use the fabric and just trap it with the fabric. That's still not going to be enough to withdraw them from, holding out their arm. You want to be grabbing onto the elbow and then using the fabric as kind of an extra layer to secure the elbow. But you're not just trapping it with the fabric. You're grabbing the elbow and then the fabric goes on top. You want to make sure that you're rotating opposite the direction of the trapped arm. Again, I've worked with students where there was kind of a confusion. You're not rotating towards the side where you have the trapped arm. You're going to actually be going opposite. So you're going to be looking in the ear opposite the side of the trapped arm. You when you are doing the movement, you still want your stomach up in the air. Another mistake when I first made this was I was kind of turning onto my side, kind of like I was doing an elbow escape. No, you still want to have your back on the floor, but you know, not turned to your side. And then the last mistake would be, you know, not pulling that arm close enough towards you. You could see when it was time for me to do the armbar, there was an awful lot of arm there to do an armbar with. If you don't pull it as far as you can, you're not really going to have a lot of arm to work with. And so, you know, you really want as much of the arm shucked to you as possible. So making sure you're securing the arm with your elbow. Make sure that you're not just trying to hold it with the fabric, and also make sure you're not just trying to hold the arm too low. Make sure you're turning to the proper direction. You want to be looking into the ear on the side opposite the trapped arm. You want to make sure that your stomach remains facing, you know, towards the ceiling. And finally, you know, for it to be an armbar, you really need enough arm to work with. So let's check it out again. Again, controlling my partner here with my knees. Remember, we're going to be mechanically trapping this arm with our hand. We're going to then shut the fabric out, just using the rib of the fabric, and holding the elbow and also holding the fabric. Next, I want my right leg to go down, my left leg to go up. And so now I'm going to be looking, you know, into the opposite the side of the trapped arm. I'm covering the shoulder with my leg. And then finally, grab her head, and you can see how easy it is to put the leg over her head. Pinch the arm together, and you can see lots of arm here for an armbar. And that is an armbar from the guard using a lapel feed. Now, I hope you've enjoyed learning this. This was actually meant for last week, but as you know, we had our 100th subscriber, so tried to have a special video. Now, in 2 weeks, we'll be at our 50th video, and again, we'll try to come up with something special for that. But in the meantime, thank you for subscribing, you know, sharing the video with other people. You know, the more the merrier, I feel. Reach out to me. I have a Facebook page, Natalie with some Jiu Jitsu. You can also reach out to me, obviously, on YouTube as well, too. In the meantime, thank you again for joining us for this episode of Jiu Jitsu for Dummies.